Alright, so, a couple thoughts. I wanted to kind of make this an interactive video. I kind of want to actually get some feedback on this one from anybody who feels like they have something to say. That would be hard. I want to know what everybody's idea of beauty is. I'm going to start by saying what my idea of beauty is. My idea of beauty is the natural things about people, the things about us that are unique to us, the things that God has gifted us with, and just the way that He created us to be and to act, and our personalities that have come from God, and those sweet, innocent things about people, I think, are what makes people beautiful, along with the good things that are inside of our hearts. And of course, outer beauty is a real thing, but it's also subjective. I don't know how many times, you can get a group, so let's say there's group A and group B. And in this matter, not even group A and group B are going to agree. You can't take one human being and ask everyone else in the world if they think this person is beautiful and get the same answer from everybody. Outer beauty is a subjective thing, and I don't really hold any weight in it whatsoever. So I wanted to get some people's opinions on how you define beauty and how you have overcome people calling you names such as ugly or not beautiful, or putting you down physically. And I wanted to take a second to talk about the fact that this kind of is in relation to my other video that I had labeled women. In today's society, yes, men are subject to criticism. They're subject to certain standards in the media, just like women are. Actors who are totally muscular, have no kind of fat on their body, who even dye their hair the older that they get. It's the same thing as what goes on with women. But I think what is happening with women is just a little bit worse. It's just a little bit more pressure there, and I think there always has been more pressure on women to look a certain way than men, simply because women are not in the media presented as equal to men, regardless of the way that it's supposed to be. This is kind of going to sound a little bit graphic, and I'm sorry if it offends anyone, but the same way that women are subject to being criticized if they have small chest size, sometimes people will get on men about the size of what's in their pants, but it just is it's not as much. Can you imagine if we lived in a world where it was like, all over TV, like, this actor was in this movie, and you wouldn't believe that, he's really not packing much downstairs. It's just like, it doesn't happen as much as things that happen to women, that when you're being criticized on the size of your chest, if you have a small butt, if you have a flat butt. And at the end of the day, who really cares what kind of butt you have? I mean, is that going to define whether you go to heaven or hell? Is that going to define whether you're a good human being or not? No. And it's just nasty. And it's nasty to see these young men who criticize women to the point of being like, I would never give her a chance. I would never date her because, her hair looks rough. Her hair is too short, or her hair is too long, or she's not blonde, her boobs aren't big enough, she's got a small butt, her smile is kind of funky, she doesn't have perfect teeth, she just doesn't meet my standards. Okay, everybody has an idea of what they want, but it's just gross to kind of put yourself on such a pedestal that you think you're like this king, and that these women have to meet the standard that not only one is unrealistic, but two, superficial, and at the end of the day, kind of sinful. So that's just something to think about there. So I'd like some feedback What is your idea of beauty? How have you overcome being picked on for your look? And what advice would you give to people who might be experiencing some self-confidence and self-esteem issues? My personal advice is, well, if you have to have a relationship with the Lord for this to really apply to you, when you're comfortable in your relationship with God, you become even more comfortable with yourself. Your self-confidence and your self-esteem builds up, and it gets to a place where you really just are not even fazed by what other human beings have to say about your looks. And that's really the best way to go. So, thoughts, comments, leave them below.